to another podcast and YouTube video of the Fearlessly Fit podcast. We're going to talk about my latest experience with online. And I'm sure you didn't in the last episode or the one before that not to use online trainers or the online trainers anymore. Yes, I did. So let me tell you why I did that. So there's someone that I follow on Instagram. I'm not going to name any names because she's not here to give her side of the story, and she may see things differently than I do. So I'm going to leave her name and her information out of this. I have been following this person and watching her transformation and watching her body, and I thought, wow, she and I have similar bills. I wonder if, and that when I say look, I mean the look of way don't necessarily participate in fitness competition because I believe she is getting ready to do a competition of some kind. I'm not. So she put it out that she 4-week program, meal plan and all of that for $40. So I thought, okay, well, I know I could at least use the training part of the program because I want to see what she's doing out for me. And for $40, that's a fraction of what most online training programs cost. Now, let's keep in mind that this is a program, okay? If you're going to do an online program, if that's, what you feel is the best option for you, so let me reiterate that this was not advertised or promoted as a custom program. It was promoted as a 4-week program to drop fat and shape your waistline, which was what I wanted. We exchanged email that we used to that she used to upload the program, the meal plan, and then I was to track my workouts through that app, my Fitness Pal to track my food. And so at first there was a couple of glitches with the app. It wasn't easy to navigate through, so I had emailed technical support about that because the only way I could close it was to message. I was like, hey, I don't see the meal plan because, again, with these online programs, you don't get to see ahead of time what you're going to get. I looked at it and I thought, this is just like what I just protein, low, and to that, that's, do you. But I have developed philosophy on, I followed a lot of people on Instagram and social media that were doing those types of competitions. Do you. This is not to say anything that you're doing is wrong or anything that you're choosing to do with your body. It's your body. Just like this is my body. And I'm going to do what I feel is best for my body. So I sent her a message yesterday and I told her I appreciated her support. I thanked her for, keeping, because she accepted registration will allow me to be a part of the program. But at this time, it was not for me. And then I went on to say that what I was about to explain was probably going to sound like excuses. But for me, at this particular moment in my life, I have a lot of life goals. So I'm going to take this opportunity just to give y'all a little bit of background. I am a full-time employee. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a full-time employee. I attend college part-time. I do class on campus 2 nights a week, and I have an online class that I also have to study for. I am the only person in my family that runs errands. That means I do all the grocery shopping. I prep my own food, except occasionally cooks for me, and usually that's breakfast because I'm not a morning person. Okay, then get dressed. I'm not the one that's helping him do what they call ADLs, activities of daily living. I don't do any of that hands-on stuff, so I didn't consider myself a caregiver, but I pay his bills. I shop for his groceries. I coordinate certain services and set up appointments for certain things that my husband does not have the patience for. Um, some things that I'm better at, and there's some things that he's better at than I am. So we tag team it. But that is a lot of stress. I'm going to be perfectly honest. When you're dealing with somebody that's elderly and they fight you on everything that you try to do to help them, it wears you down, but you still have to do it because guess what? There's nobody else. There's not a line of people outside this door or this house to jump in and say, hey, let me help you with that. There are family members that do come by and check on him, but because of their lives and what they have going on, so there's nobody else. Okay. I'm not saying that that's an excuse. I have to deal with a lot. Plain, God gives us what we can handle, and sometimes He gives us what He can trust us with that He knows He can't trust anybody else with. So I wasn't trying to tell her that I was leaving the program because, you know, of all the other stuff I have going on. I have to make working out, meal prepping, and my health a priority, and that means I work it in where it's easy for me to program. I was required to go to the gym twice a day. Okay, automatically 2 days out of the week are out because I have class and I have to leave work. I'm talking about road runnering up the road to get to school before 5:30 because my instructor does a quiz at the beginning of every class. If you're not in there at 5:30, you don't get to take it. And that's a big part of our grade. And the quizzes are part of our what we use to study. Okay, so the other thing was I'm in a place where I'm trying to heal my body from certain things. So a certain and I said from the beginning. So, and I'm just basically with the fitness industry because it seems like there's either one and the leading. So there's a side that says you got to go all in. You can't eat anything other than what's on your meal plan. You got to stick to your calories and macros 100%. Their thinking puts me in the wrong mindset. And when you get to, for me personally, when I get to an all or nothing mentality, that's very dangerous because I'm not going to do what's best for me in that kind of a mindset. So the trainer responded to my message and she was like, you know, you shouldn't let a bad week stop you. But at first she started off acknowledging that the program was not for everybody. And you had to be in a place where you were committed and ready to do it. And that's 100% true. And then she said, you know, when I mentioned the injury where I thought I had torn my calf muscle last week, she named some things that could have happened. Stress, not getting enough rest, you know, stuff like that. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me see if I can turn off these notifications because for the people that are going to listen to this, it's going to sound terrible. And I'm just so sorry if that's a distraction to you while you're trying to listen. Okay, so, and then we were required to upload pictures, like a picture the week we started, and then a picture to show like our progress the following week. So she sent me back my pictures and she said, honestly, did you even do the meal plan? Because there wasn't a lot of change in my pictures. And I looked at them, there was not. And in my second picture that I uploaded last weekend, my stomach looked bigger, even though I was down 1 pound. But that was from several factors. As I've mentioned probably a couple times on the podcast, I have digestive issues, and that comes with bloating and sometimes a distension of the abdomen. That doesn't mean that that's extra weight or fat. That's just, you know, that's just part of what I deal with. So my waist area is never going to be perfect. Even if I have surgery, I may still deal with the occasional bloating and that sort of thing. Plus, as women, we also deal with things that cause bloating on top of my digestive issues. And I had both of those going on when I took that second picture. So I can see where she would look at the pictures and think that I was BSing her and not, eating like I should have. But I followed as closely as I could to the meal plan. I was still eating fish and that kind of thing for dinner. I was having turkey for lunch, which was not on her meal plan. Well, I take that back. It was on the meal plan, but not every day. It was 1 or 2 meals out of the plan each day. And, that kind of offended me because I feel like, first of all, when you're doing an online program, you can't be in front of somebody to look at them and see what's really going on with them. You can't really assess them 100% from a photograph or even a live link. Like, what am I trying to say? Video chat. Like, you really can't assess a person, I don't think, from a photo and from measurements, because the camera kind of distorts things and angles make things look a certain way. I tried to take the pictures in the same position, same type of clothing so that she could see as well as possible what was going on, but that was the best I could do. Okay. So I also sent her some pictures of the beginning of my program with my previous online program and from a few weeks ago where I did a side-by-side. And I think I posted that on my Instagram page. And I just let her know, hey, I didn't do the meal plan. Here's why. And also, I've tried a meal plan like that before, and I just knew I couldn't maintain it. But I feel like it's just going to take me longer. I'm not in that mindset where I can commit to trying to shred my body in a month. And even if I did, the health factors that I deal with will not allow me to be a noodle in a month. Okay. So I still have the workouts. Like, I wrote them all down and I was going to put them in another app I use to try to make a circuit out of it. But the other factor was the time. These workouts will take an hour and a half, I feel like, to 2 hours to complete. And I just didn't have that kind of time. I get to the gym when I go in the mornings. I get there at 5, a little before 5 sometimes. And I have to be out of there at 6 to get home and get ready to get to work, because I still have to eat breakfast. I still have to pack my lunch and get dressed and all that, shower. So I was not able to do every single part of the program. And I messaged her one time and told her that there were some exercises I couldn't do, but that I was going to try to modify. And then there was a couple that I just couldn't do at all. And her suggestion was to keep trying, that I would get stronger each day. And that's true. But when I tell you that bicycle crunches kill my tailbone or what's left of it after having 2 boys that came out like rockets, I could not do bicycle crunches. So I found another lady on YouTube. Her name is Coach Tulin, Tulin. She is a plus size fitness coach, and she has videos dedicated to modifications for different exercises that are usually part of some type of strength training program. And I'm going to use her method of bicycle crunches because I think it would be much easier on my back, my lower back, and my hips. So anyway, the trainer, I think, has sent me a response to my pictures that I sent her. So I'm going to look at that in a second, but let me go ahead and wrap this up. I just wanted to announce, and I know y'all are going to say, you just got through telling us everything that you do and everything that you're responsible for. And and here you are about to take on something else. And let me explain why I'm about to take it on. I had always planned to get my personal certification, but my plan was to be frustrated with trying to find a program that worked for me, that I could do responsibly, and that I felt I could maintain long term with adjustments and modifications where necessary. that I started, I had Googled and looked, and that's how I found Coach. Subscribed to her channel alone. But a lot of people workout programs or designs for people like me that have health and physical limitations that will not allow you. I don't care how much you try to warrior it out. It is not going to work for me. It is not. And I'm not saying it's something I can't do. I can do it, but I'll pay the price for it later. As in my calf muscle feeling like I had torn it straight off the bone last week. As in my obliques feeling like I had actually torn muscle loose from the rib the other day. I have to be careful. You have one body. You have to take care of it. Yes, you can push yourself sometimes, but you have to be smart. If you know that you're responsible for a lot of things and there's people dependent on you, you have to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. And yes, working out is something I do for me, but I have to take my total health into consideration. And that's a comment that I got on my last blog podcast post. A friend of mine was like, I haven't heard you mention mental health, and she felt like I was focused too much on food. And that's true, because I've told y'all I'm a recovering food addict, and I still have to go through a battery of questions before I eat things sometimes to make sure I can, number one, eat it in modification. Number two, I'm eating it for the right reasons. And number three, I'm not going to fall into a cycle of depression after I eat it because I didn't do number one and number two. So with all that being said, I signed up for a trial of the National Association of Sports Medicine personal training program. It was a 1-week trial that allowed me to look at the first couple of chapters, watch some videos, and see what the quizzes and that sort of thing were like and what they had to offer. So, as you know, with a lot of programs, once you do a trial, they usually come back and offer you some type of discount or some type of setup that would allow you to do it if you maybe had not planned to do it right away. And that's what happened. So I signed up. I'm about to start my self-guided program to become a National Association of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer. This is a process, so it's going to take me, a while. They estimate most people can do it in 2 to 3 months, but I think they give you 6 months to complete it and take the exam. So I will probably be utilizing all of those 6 months. I feel like if it's something I'm passionate about, I don't have a problem studying and reading and all of that. But right now I am struggling with World Lit and ethics because it's part of what I need for my degree program, but it's not necessarily something that I am ecstatic about. I'm just going to be honest. So we're already at 20 minutes. I try to keep these short so you guys can listen to them while you're doing other things or watch the video while you're doing other things and not have to commit a whole lot of time because, as I well know, time is a precious commodity. And I've rambled on long enough. So that was my announcement. I'm working on my personal training certification while I'm in school and working full time and trying to keep myself on some sort of a routine of taking care of my physical health and achieving my goals, which my goals, they change from time to time. Right now, I just want to be healthy overall, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I feel like everything that I'm going through at this moment is preparing me for something bigger. And like I said before, you have to figure out what works for you, and then you have to figure out how to make it work in your lifestyle and along with the other things that you're responsible for and that you have to do. And yeah, it's all love. I don't hold any ill feelings toward this trainer. I took a mentorship class years ago at my church, and one thing that we learned in the very beginning when I started was some people need to be kicked, some people need to be petted. I fall somewhere in between. I'm not a kicker or a petter, but I can understand why needs what they need to get their motivation into gear. So the halftime locker room rah 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 kind of coaching does not motivate me. It turns me off. And because I know what I need, because I know what I like, because I know what my body responds to, I figured I may as well go ahead and start studying now and get my personal training certification, because I feel like there are a lot of people out there like me who could benefit what I know, what I'm going to learn as I study for this certification. And I want to thank you guys for rocking with me and listening to the podcast and watching the YouTube videos. I appreciate it. Um, I love that you guys think I'm so fascinating that you would take time out of your schedule to listen to what I have to say. And I'm not going to be emotional on camera, but thank you guys so much. And now I'm about to start off the mad dash of getting my stuff done that I have to do on the weekends. I need to study. I need to prepare for a midterm that's got to be taken by midnight tomorrow night. I got to go to the grocery store. I need to pay some bills. And yeah, it's like that meme where you're trying to exercise, drink water, text everybody back. That's me right now. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. And hey, continue to be fearlessly fit.